Now just push the button, make sure my levels are good. We're a little quiet, but that's okay. Nothing too serious in that. Okay, checking the switchboard. Increase volume levels to the second notch. And somebody donked me. Why'd you do that? We gotta jump on it by 5 seconds. Look out, everybody. Here we go. Live from the Crescent Moon Temple, it's the morning show with your host, Tolinar. It's time to play the music, switch all of the cameras on. I'm messing with the volume levels and I'm going it alone. Something like this. Real quickly check the chat room. There is nobody home except that guy. It's time for the morning show and I'm almost on my own. We have a viewer today. Hi, newbie. The host, the guest, the audience. It's what I'm here to be. There's one person out there watching. This all depends on me. I got my audio synced up. It sounds pretty good today. The volume levels are almost on point. Doing it my own way. Okay. Double check Twitch integration. All systems are good to go. One last quick mic inspection. Fine for audio. It's a little loud, There we go. Pick a topic of conversation. Something I ought to know. Modern news is too confusing. Gotta figure what I'm doing out. Maybe food processing, play some video games. I've been doing blueprints, driving me insane. The host, the guest, the audience. It's what I've got to be. There's nobody else out there. This all depends on me. But that's nothing unusual. It's just another day. If I want to make my life great, I've got to do it my own way. The host, the guest, the audience, the whole show is for newbies. That's what we're doing today, yeah. This all depends on me. Trying to entertain one viewer. It's all I've got today. If I want to make a half-decent show, I'm gonna do it my own way. Okay. Today on the morning show, we'll be discussing envy and its true form. Yes, I've heard it's psycho, it's extremely cold. I don't like usually covering the news, but you better wear your socks, because good gravy, I hear Ontario is going to be one of the coldest places in the world. Really, 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 really cold. Very cold. It's cold. It's cold. It's doggone cold. It's real cold. I don't want to get into the politics of the other things happening in Minnesota, but we can say it's cold. Today's morning show is brought to you by the letter T, the number 5, and by viewers like Newbie. Thank you for watching. I'm having me a piece of chocolate. Once I get this down, we'll start the tea. And, you know, here's dude. It's not that I'm callous or that I didn't hear about the fatal shooting. I don't want to dwell on such things. That would ruin my day. I've got my own life to live over here. Very important things to do. I have to eat breakfast, I have to cook, I have to clean. I need to get my temple in order. Get this started up. And so I have this tendency to completely neglect what's going on outside my little window for my own sanity's sake. Right. Well, I don't want to seem callous or heartless. I care a great deal, but definitely want to focus on me this morning. Cat scrambling around like it's berserk. Wow, wow, wow. There it goes. Woo. Yeah. Cat beat the unseen enemy just now. Ninja's right over that. Holy cow. Holy cat. Whoa. Cat's like, yeah, I'm getting up here. You're doing that ridiculous morning show stuff. Talking to no one again. There is someone there this time, though. There he is, kitty. Somebody's out there. Somebody's out there. Now, I do long steep on tea, so what you can do to improve your porcelain is give it a first flush. You might not believe this, but the cold cup is one of the things that helps yank down the temperature of a boil. So, in the case that you want something to stay as hot as possible for as long as possible, for maximum extraction of tannins and things, what you can do is prepare the boiling water, then put a very small amount in the cup, maybe about that much, just swirl it around, let it get quite hot, then after a few seconds, go ahead and pour it out. The cup will now be much hotter than it was, and we'll take this there we go. And we'll take this hot water and stay at temperature for longer. I'm going to add some more water to I have a filter pitcher at my house. One thing you understand about being an overlord right away is that all life depends on water. And that one of the most valuable things you can do for all of life is to collect, clean, and share water. This provides life to oh so many beings. Life is the foundation, and the foundation is water. Okay, now I'm very tempted to go on about water all day, but we're not going to do that. Let's talk about the truth of envy. So envy is one of the incarnations of a cardinal motive. Envy is the cardinal motive of ambition, desire to be important. So human beings have a need to matter. They don't want to feel like they don't matter. That's the worst feeling in the world. They'd rather feel like they were important. They want to leave their mark on humanity. They want to be meaningful. So how do you quantify meaning? How do you know if you are meaningful? How can you measure that? Well, as I mentioned some time ago when I was breaking down the psyche of the human mind, we have the ability to ascertain the quantity and quality of things. And these give rise to very specific motives. Now, our ascertation of quality gives rise to our sense of quality, our sense of aesthetic, which in turn leads to pride. But we are talking about quantity. Now, our sense of quantity is the root of all evil. The first time we think they have more than me, or the first time we think we'd like to have more than someone else, it leads to all of the selfish desires in the world. The thought, I want to have that, they don't need that, that's for me, I want to get it. That's selfish. By the way, you're listening to Kentaro Sato and the Budapest Symphony Orchestra performing Stardew Valley. It's the soundtrack to my life. So, nature of the drive to have more than another, or the thought that you have less, leads to selfish behavior. It is always quantity that is the root of this stuff. When people say money is the root of all evil, that's close, but not quite it. It is the desire for more that is the root of all evil. The feeling you don't have enough. Whether or not it's true, regardless of to what extent it is true, it pressures us into behaving unsociably. It causes us to move away from the herd and keep things to ourselves, take things from other people, and encourages various other very antisocial behaviors. And honestly, do we need it? Well, functionally speaking, yes. Quantification is useful. Quantification lets us stay grounded, lets us see various things that are useful for survival, useful for comfort, useful for happiness. So do we benefit from our sense of quantity? Oh yes, definitely. Does it Does it influence our behavior? Very strongly. It does, yes. In the same way that our need for emotional connection is the root of all of our social needs, all of our social behavior, that all of the good and virtue in us comes from our need to connect socially with others. It is our desire to have more that serves as the counterbalance, our selfishness. And honestly, society needs selfishness. Selfishness is rooted through ambition, as I mentioned. And ambition is what lets us do amazing and great and terrible things. Our most impactful moments tend to come when we have decided to be selfish. It gives us the power we need to change the world around us. Make the world... Oh, sorry about that. I'll go ahead and get that down. I appreciate your assistance. I'm still working out these volume levels. Okay, now the music's just barely there. Hopefully that's fine. All right. Sorry, I've been messing around with my volume levels, trying to come up with something that works pretty well. Anyways. All right. That's going to do it. Sorry for the early morning loudness. We're getting there. I appreciate the feedback. Normally I have to go back and review the entire video start to finish and see how things went and try to remember what my settings were at various moments. But this seems to be working pretty well for us. Okay. So, as I mentioned, envy is the root of all evil, but that doesn't mean that the humanity that we have today would get anywhere near where we are if it weren't for envy. The desire to have more, the desire to have what other people have, motivates us to be great. Our urge to do things to separate ourselves from the herd, our willingness to work hard, comes from our ability to quantify. Indeed, a lot of our ability to plan and reason for the future comes from quantity and our ability to count and our ability to quantify. In one way, our sense of camaraderie, our willingness to work towards a shared goal, is rooted in our ability to count, to measure our own contribution and know we are helping. And it's very tied into pride. They're all linked up. In the same way that pride is valuing your own self, envy is valuing another. Feeling envy means you have acknowledged the worth of another being, another person. And while this can inspire selfish behavior, the acknowledgement in itself is not necessarily a bad thing. So, you get in a situation where Envy may be the root of negative human behavior, but is still useful to humans, even if it never makes us happy. I have never known anybody who was envious of someone else and became happy because of that feeling. It doesn't work like that. That's not how it goes. What happens is you become envious of someone else, so you decide to work hard yourself. And that decision is the one that really helps out. The one that really benefits humanity is when envy leads to personal forward action. And these can have a selfish seed to them. So where is, in fact, the fulcrum for envy? I mentioned this earlier, but sins and virtues are separated by a fulcrum, right? Let me see if I find it here. Generosity, temperance, lust, envy. So, the fulcrum for envy is entitlement. I deserve it more than they do. There's nothing quite as dangerous in this world as the sense of entitlement. Believing that you deserve something more than the person who has it is nothing but trouble. Be like, oh, this person, well, they get paid more than me. Well, that's not necessarily a good feeling. It can lead to envious thoughts and emotions. But when you think, I work harder than them, I deserve to get paid that much and they don't, I deserve it more than they do. Now you're starting to knock on the door of trouble. This is where bad things happen. Okay, let me shake out my tea filter. We're gonna add some milk and some sugar. We are gonna get going. Inside my house, it is a balmy 73 degrees. Although outside, it is frozen solid. I ain't going out there. Ain't gonna happen. No way, no how, no go. 1, 2, 3 scoops of sugar. Thank you. I use a back of a spoon to give it a good stir. Thank you. Be right over. Just come out of the kitchen, take a read. There we are. Entitlement is the root of most of the terrible behavior that humans engage in. Entitlement can be damaging to emotional relationships. It can be damaging to professional relationships. It can be damaging to pretty much everything it touches, unfortunately. Does it cause certain great things to happen? Yes. Yes. Very specific things. Very few specific things. Entitlement does create upward motion for humanity. Good things have come from entitlement, but not a whole lot. As I mentioned, envy can lead to forward motion for humanity. The desire for more leading to positive behaviors. Oh, hi, Kat. What's going on? You want to talk? You want to get on the radio with the viewers? Like, oh, I know more about this than you do. Let me tell you, you want to talk entitlement? I'm a cat. I took your Christmas present away from you because I deserve it. And I want to be fed all the food because I deserve it. And you have to cuddle me every night because I deserve it. And you gotta give me. That what it is? Is that it? That's right. Yes, okay. There you go. There's a love for the cat. Gotta do it. Cats don't quantify. Cats are immune to the evil. Doesn't mean they're not greedy. Oh yes, but there's a difference between greed and envy. Greed is wanting all of the things. Cats are very greedy creatures. There is no such thing as quantification to a cat. Cat doesn't know if it gets more or less. Doesn't count, doesn't measure, doesn't tally. It only knows what it gets is what it gets. And so cats are bereft of the evil known as envy. Almost. When there's one, and the cat doesn't have that one, cats can act evilly. Knocking other cats off of a lap, for example. Like, that's mine, I want it. Well, there you go. When there's one and the cat doesn't have that one, cats can act in evil. For the most part, though, envy is a human trait because our sense of quantification is stronger. So we are more likely to be affronted by small things. Normally, if a cat wants something, it tries to convince you, kindly, sweetly, tries to emotionally manipulate you into being nice to, which is good news. You know, emotional manipulation gets a bad light, honestly. There's a lot of people who think, oh, emotional manipulation, I don't want nothing to do with that. That's awful. That's they are master manipulators. Cats are master manipulators. Well put. Emotional manipulation is important because the other options to getting what we want are going around and demonstrating force. You can't manipulate someone else into giving you what you want. You can either give up, which is a very defeating approach, honestly. Even if you're seeking something especially selfish, giving up is never a good thing for a human. Well, I say never. There are a few times when it's fine to give up. Everybody fails. And having acceptance to that is definitely a topic for another show. Let's get back on track. Sorry, I was starting to derail. Anyways, I am thinking I might set up a Minecraft server. The cat has come out of the tree. It wants more attention. Okay, I understand, cat. He's sniffing around. He's looking for the angle. Okay, there's nothing in there. Anyways, envy, right. I easily get distracted. It's just part of being me. You want to take the disc? You want to take the disc? Thank you for taking the disc. Okay. So, the world exists in an ongoing balance between the things we want and the things we have. Why? You decided you're just gonna come over. You like, can you open the window, please? 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 Okay. It's frigid icy out there. Look at the frost on everything. Whoa! Okay, we got some random background noise that comes online. Let me get that volume down. All right. Get that volume down. There we go. All right. Okay. That's right. Let me see here. Okay. I'm trying to get the, I don't think the Godot system is even broadcasting. I think it's a direct line. Okay, that's fine. In that case, I can boot it up and adjust it as I need to. So, yes, I'm getting ready to reboot my Asheville series with my new persona. Asheville, if you didn't know, is my super flat lava VR Minecraft world. And I intend to begin again at the hardest difficulty setting I can get. Now, Asheville is something of a dinosaur. You must understand that Asheville, the last time I accessed Asheville was November 5th. Asheville is impossible for anyone else to access. And the reason for that is no one else has access to PSVR service. The PSVR was discontinued for Minecraft. It is only due to my incredible abilities that I am capable of doing that. So we're gonna get around here. I'm gonna go ahead and launch a copy of Asheville from the start of the universe. I have some modifications to make. Now there's very specific things that I always do. First, I locate the world center, and then I put down a handful of. First, I've got to switch on the coordinates. Now, normally at this point, I'd love to show you what's going on, but I don't really want to spoil the events of Asheville, so we're going to go ahead and sneak in here. I will switch on coordinates so I can see where I am. Oh yeah, I'm nowhere near where I need to be, so we're going to come back. We're headed to the world center. All right. I don't have a whole lot to say about Envy, I suppose. I suppose we've gone over pretty much everything that I wanted to discuss on the topic. It's an important idea, but it's not something I'm super fond of. You know, that sort of thing. Okay. Now, what we want to do... I'm headed to where the center of the map would be, right? Now, 0, 0 would be the corner of a map, right? All right, a standard Minecraft map would be 128, 128. So what we want to do is move ourselves to about 63, 63. Right around here. Okay, good. I'll walk you through the procedure of creating this, and I'll even tell you a secret that I'll never tell anybody else, okay? First, I'm going to punch a hole. Bam. Good. I'm trying to see where I am here. And get out of the flow of lava. Okay, good. So, directly underneath, okay, this is where I want it to be. Now what I want to do is take an ender chest. Oh, I can't type like that, it doesn't work. I'll have to use this thing. And ender chest. Perfect. Okay, that blocks the lava. So, the beginning of every world of Asheville starts with specifically oh, not there. The same form. There we go. Okay, good. Okay, shoot up out of the lava for a moment. Come on, down. Up, up, up. There we are. It starts off with a small grass section, basically a ring of grass. And then in the middle of it is a chest, okay? First I have to come down. Where's the hole? Oh no, I lost the hole. Okay, I'm looking. Is it exactly 64? I guess I can use lava buckets to put it back down. Okay, let's toss some grass blocks out and find that hole. I think it might be here. Not here. Okay, hang on. Now I gotta find it. Okay, found it. Good. Okay. So I'll have to rebuild the lava in a couple of places. Good. Okay. We'll use this as the natural shape this time. Okay. So the game always starts off with a chest. Okay. And this chest is situated in the middle of a small grass island. What is not shown is that there is another chest hidden underneath it. This is the big secret. Hidden underneath the starter chest is another chest. And then hidden underneath that chest is a third chest. But I never access the hidden chests until someone mentions them. So if nobody ever mentions the other chests, I never access them. I'm always just waiting for someone in the audience to say, wait, there's something going on here. You see, ender chests put out very specific particles. If someone notices those particles are present, then they can access the chest. So, directly underneath the first chest, there is a whole bunch of sand. Because one of the hardest things to get in this game is sand and gravel. So full stacks of gravel. Oh, it's stuck at a very strange angle. Nope, don't fall through the world, please. That's not convenient to me at all. The world is designed specifically with a hook on the bottom so that a person who is persistent can actually start building under the world. No, I'm sorry. I currently have the game screen hidden, partly because my Elgato is not connecting and partly because I don't want to spoil what's going on. I don't want to ruin the game for somebody who might play it or might watch later. The bottommost shulker box will contain all of the neat things that I don't want to have anywhere else, but I can't get in my world otherwise. That's going to be a lot of eggs, honestly. This is how I'll get access to a whole bunch of other species when my game is really, really, really old. So what we're going to do is clear all this out. Okay, good. And I'm just going to take one of each of the see, a goat spawn egg, an axolotl, an allay. The frogs spawn eggs. And I think there's shulker. A sniffer, a breeze, an armadillo. And then, let's see here. Polar bear, ocelot. These are all creatures that I would never otherwise have in my world. Oh, but I need to have 2 of each, don't I? Just a second as I go back through my inventory. I want to have 2 so I can breed as I need to. Okay, good. Bear, ocelot. I think cats are the one thing that I can get to spawn on their own. Cats will just spawn. The mushrooms, I'm going to need spawn eggs for those. Okay. Parrots, I will need spawn eggs for those. Rabbits will spawn on their own. Llamas I can get. Horses, I think I will need spawn eggs for horses. Donkeys, I will need a spawn egg for donkeys. Skeleton zombie horse, I can get those. Tropical fish, cod, salmon, I think I can get those to spawn. I can get dolphins to spawn. Turtles, I think I'm going to have to help them spawn. Okay, so we're going to put a few of each of these in here. Now, this is all going in the box at the very, very, very bottom of the world. The only way I'll ever get this is if somebody notices that there's an ender chest under my main chest while I'm streaming and mentions it. And I would thank you not to ever mention it because you're privy to the secret. 2 pandas. What else? We got some silverfish wouldn't spawn anyways. Strays, slimes, spiders. I can get these monsters to spawn no problem. Glow squids, maybe. Couple glow squid eggs, sure. Okay. Let's see here. Goat eggs, yes. Axolotl eggs. Allay eggs. Frogs. Let's see here. What else? Armadillos. Past that, sheeps, pigs, chickens. Those will spawn as they will. I think I've pretty much got all the eggs that I wanted to get for all these creatures that wouldn't otherwise be present in my world. That I can't really get into my world unless, you know, I do what I'm doing now. They'll never be a part of my world ever. That's a little sad, so we're going to do what we can here. Let's see, what else? There's various banner patterns that I don't think I would be able to get if not for some external help. So I'm going to put all these banner patterns in here too. All right, that should do it for the bottommost chest. Now we're going to put down another chest. And this one will be the secret chest. Not the secret chest, but the secret chest. If that makes any sense. So here we have the black box, which is designed to look like the bedrock. Hopefully go beyond notice. Okay, we jump up out of the hole a little bit. Place a black box right there. It's not going to place, is it? Nope. So what I'm going to do is place the ender chest down here. We'll come in here, we'll locate the ender chest. Okay, here we go. Right. Now the ender chest is special because it will contain a series of special shulker boxes. Every shulker box is capable of containing a certain high amount of resources. And these shulker boxes can actually be stored in chests. So what I can do is fill a shulker box entirely with necessary resources. Sand and red sand and other materials that don't naturally appear in my world. So I can take full stacks of sand and then pop this open and load this shulker box full of sand. And then fell in the lava. It's destroyed. Let's try again. Shit. Do-overs. Well, these things do happen. That's okay. I wanted a different color shulker box anyways for sand. Okay, I'm going to take a yellow shulker box for sand and set this up full of sand. Grab my sand. Okay, good. Okay, there we go. Need that sand block. Okay, pile it full of sand. And we'll do it again. No, not red sand. Red sand is going to be another block. Okay. So we take a full 9 stacks of sand. Now this is 64 times 9 blocks of sand. If that seems excessive, please understand this is the most the world will ever have. I am going to build an entire planet using this. So it's imperative that I have all the material I could ever want. Now, the shulker chest is completely full of sand. Now I'll stand on top of it, break it, and put it in my inventory. Now I have the template for the shulker chest, so I can place this chest without spending this chest to duplicate it. And now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 shulker chests loaded with sand. And they're going into the ender chest. Every last one of them containing 27 times 64 sand. Now we do the same thing with gravel, different color shulker chest. Basically, I'm building up the secret store of blocks that are non-renewable for my world. So someday, distant future, when someone decides to help me out, I'll finally gain access to a colossal amount of resources. Okay, so now I have to come in here and find the gravel block. There we are. Do the same thing. Get this out of here and pick up 9 stacks gravel. We're going to duplicate this one also 9 times because gravel is another one of those blocks. Now you can actually trade with piglins to get gravel. You can trade with the wandering trader to get sand. I'm sure I'm going to be using these impeller methods at some point, unless of course my chat kindly clues me into the fact that the ender chest is hidden under the source, which I'm going to pretend I don't know until such time as the chat points it out. Okay, now I've got my chest full of gravel. And I will place duplicate it until I have 9 chests of gravel, 9 chests of sand, and then we're going to pick out 9 decorative blocks that I wouldn't be able to get a lot of otherwise. And that will be the inside of the base chest. Then that'll just be grass underneath the, it'll be a grass block on top of it. No, I've opened it. There we go. Okay, ready to go. 1 row of sand, 1 row of gravel, and now we do the other ones. So we start with a red shulker chest. Looking for red. There's red. Thank you. And for this one, I want red sand. We're going to take this. Okay, great. Okay. Do it again. Red sand. Check. Once I get this done, I'll access okay, good. I'll access the world normally, and we'll have our first round of Asheville today. And you'll witness the world get started. Okay, there's the red block. That's got full of red sand. Now, we're gonna do... Which block is next? Prismarine, I guess. It's another thing that will never be in my world, unfortunately. Because there's no under ocean areas. So any of the blocks that come from under the ocean, never going to exist. We'll take a light blue shulker box, place that out. Now we'll find some prismarine blocks. Prismarine. Coral blocks, I might be able to get those to go. Chorus plant, I could reach the end. Infested stone, no. Frog spawn, ugh. Creaking heart, vault. Obsidian. Reinforced deep splate. Infested stone, that's not it. Calcite. Pale paw, moss, snow, ice packed, ice. I can make that. It's a long process, but I can manufacture that. Netherrack, mycelium, mud, clay, yeah, that's all fine. Stone, no, none of that. I'm looking for prismarine. Why can't I not find it? I'm failing here. Skulk, no. Roguelite, no. Vault, creaking heart, no. None of this. Okay, budding amethyst, we're gonna get that eventually. Muddy mangrove roots, that ain't it. Leaf litter, dripstone, no. None of that. I'm missing it here. Netherrack, netherwort, podzol, dirt, coarse dirt, mud, mycelium, resin, crops. Oh man. Well, I've gone through every single block. Where in the world is the prismarine? Okay, activate search. Oh, of course. This is something that has to be manufactured by people. Okay. Prismarine. Okay. dark prismarine. I think that's it for underwater blocks that I can't get any other way. I think prismarine bricks can be manufactured, but I'm going to provide them in case they can't. Just in case they can't, I'm going to provide them. There we go. Okay. Grab the prismarine. Goes in. Now we have red sand, the prismarine series. Calcite is next. Calcite will not exist in my world either. Right. Ready. Oh. Right. I have to have a chest. Okay. Shulker box. The blanched white one will be calcite. Oops. Didn't do it right. Okay. Gotcha. Good. Calcite. Calcite. Yeah, here it is. Sorry if this is an especially boring watch, just listening to somebody put together a Minecraft world. Hopefully you'll be able to actually watch me play it in a little while. I'll get my streaming configuration up and around. Instead, you get to know the secrets of its construction. Huh. All right. Now the calcite's in there. Still space for a couple more. What's it gonna be? Yeah. Now, I've played this particular world, Asheville, to death. I know a lot about Asheville. I've done this experiment a dozen times over. This is going to be my slowest growing Asheville ever because I'm denying myself the things that help me get going, like the iron blocks. So it's going to be a hard go. It's going to be a rough go. We're going to put down a brown shulker box, and a dark gray shulker box, and a light gray shulker box. These are going to be for andesite, diorite, and andesite, diorite, and the other one. What the heck is it called? See here. They're basically just minerals that occur naturally and commonly in a world, but won't occur in my world. It's not going to be here. So we've got granite, right? I always take that one for granite. Using granite as the root, you can actually create the others. I don't want to do that. I don't want to force myself to do that kind of yoop-de-doop, hoopla, useless. Okay. So we fill this up with granite. Here we are. Gotcha. Okay. One block full of granite. Now, we'll come in here, fill the next block with andesite. Okay. It's worth noting that I'm only ever going to have 27 stacks of this stuff, which isn't a whole lot for a planet. Pop that. Grab it. Add the andesite chest. Good. Now add another stark white nether chest. That's the outro music. I'm going to go ahead and stop my music as well as the recording of the stream.